This game's opening plays greatly with its relaxing music and how it sets you into this amazing game's world. I'll remove 4 sins right off the bat, making this the first game I sin to have its sin count be negative at least once. Game swims into Kokiri Forest, but shows the Spirit Temple. Game instantly spoils something from the semi-final dungeon. Does Link have to sleep in the opening of every Zelda game? He's giving theorists more fuel with their theory of each Zelda adventure insultingly be just dreams. Main character is different from everyone else cliche. Game once again spoils something from later. Mito's a terrible guard if he's facing towards the place he's guarding. Does Navi really need to fly under his legs? Why not fly over him? I know there's not much time, but let me stop to say hi to this girl. This image right here. That's cute and all, but is it possible to say airborne after flying into something? I don't mind Navi, but I don't blame everyone for hating her voice clips. But gosh, are these graphics beautiful. The leader is a complete jerk cliche. Now we're robbing Mito. Though to be fair, he probably deserves it. How and why do they have dangerous boulders in this area? How did the Kokiri make this super dangerous path? Kids aren't strong enough to carry ladders without hurting themselves. Business scrubs stink at big business if they just attack their customers. If this guy has to keep jumping to interact with customers, he should have a smaller counter. Or at least get a stool. Does Mito think he's a Charlie Brown character? Now he's a discount Kerchak. Question is, why doesn't he accept Link? Is it because Link didn't have a fairy? He has one now. How did this stupid brat even get to be the boss of the Kokiri in the first place? That actually makes me really mad. Also, for some reason, it's easy for me to picture him with the annoying know-it-all kid's voice from Polar Express. Discount Piranha Plant. Wow, Nintendo has guts to throw you into a dungeon right away. Using fire in a highly flammable tree would kill it faster than the curse does. Link rolled through water with his torch, yet it's still lit. 23 is number 1. Great math lesson for children. Well, on that doesn't sound stupid at all. These Dekus are the closest thing to a mini-boss in here. Because we found your secret combination, you should reveal your queen's secret? That makes no sense. Divide sign pupil. You call this a main boss theme in a Zelda game? It sounds like what you'd hear in a circus act. Kids don't want to see something give birth on screen. Goma can be tough for newcomers, but veterans can kill it quickly. Ganondorf and his horse's heatproof skills are on point. This sequence is just beautiful. This effect looked better on the N64. Guess there are some things the 3DS can't handle. This is definitely a sad scene. As long as you don't realize he's dying with his mouth wide open. I don't really understand Mito accusing us of killing the Great Deku Tree, but how does he think a wimp like us could have killed this great spirit? Mito doesn't even banish Link from Kokiri Forest for this. For the longest time I thought he did, and then I missed the part where he said it. What if this Deku accidentally swallowed the bullet bag? Saria must be a witch! Need I mention how good this game's music is? This would easily be the best Zelda overworld theme if it wasn't tied with Spirit Tracks' overworld theme. I'd subtract sins for every great song individually, but I learned from my Superstar Saga video, so I'll save time and remove 30 sins right now. And guess who's here to bother us throughout our adventure with that stupid default setting where it's easy to accidentally reset his dialogue? G stays in the Hyrule or short. And at night, the awesome music turns off. Who leaves rupees way up here? These rupees are fragile. I really don't want to believe this, but this game gets so much credit for what Link's Awakening did. Malon and Talon are based off Marin and Terran, Dog's first Zelda appearance was in Link's Awakening, and even the Ocarina was in it too. These dumb guards are easy to fool because they're too spread out and only watch certain areas. Idiot father cliche. This game has something against Mario if they're basing Talon after Mario and making him lazy. How'd he even become Lon Lon Ranch's owner anyway? For a lazy guy, Talon sure can run. We just ruined the milk Talon delivered. These windows no longer have that cool Mario reference. The fact that this guard already had a lit bomb ready gives me bad implications. Scene does not contain a lap dance. Roll credits. These guards are facing Link, yet they don't throw Link out. Geez, I wonder why your father doesn't believe you when judging the guy who he completely trusts. All because of a dream you had. Really, Zelda? You're not even slightly worried he's onto us after he just saw us spying on him? This is pretty cute. Where did Impa come from? Impa looks younger than she actually is. Because the ocarina is no longer controlled with the joystick, it takes some getting used to. I'm glad Impa's making this easier, but I doubt being caught would be that much trouble. The guards will just throw us out and we're done here anyway. In Kakariko Village, born and raised. Because we picked up a few chickens, we have potential to be one of the best cowboys. This guy running on the wooden beam is asking for suicide. If Andrew's allergic to chickens, why are they making her handle the chickens? Andrew rewards your hard work with a bottle. Who lets cows in their house? We just took this corpse's heart, which shouldn't be working anymore. Danpei's appearance in contrast to his personality makes him a discount Quasimodo. I hate this horribly luck-based minigame. Why do you make a game based off violating graves anyway? I'm glad these guys are back to normal, but these dances look weird. How does this guard know we didn't write Zelda's name? Wouldn't Zelda's lullaby be better evidence? Tektites look more like spiders than Gomas do. So these Gorons aren't in danger of starving after all. They just can't access the ones they're addicted to. Why do Gorons have tight ropes? They can't support their weight. If Darunio dances to forest music, how come he hasn't broken down and danced whenever he heard Saria's song coming from behind the rocks leading to the Lost Woods? His secret should be exposed. Also, Tough Guy has an embarrassing secret cliche. It's so easy to get lost in Goron City. I'm glad we can go this way and save all that backtracking, but how does an area high in the mountains go all the way down to Lost Woods this fast? They're not even next to each other. Zora's River's between them. I'm glad you can follow the music to get here, but why is this the only time it does that? The Lost Woods are annoying to navigate every other time. Saria's song's barely used. What the heck did I just play, Face? Thanks. I'd have thought there were other songs considering this isn't our first one. I couldn't find footage, but if you play Zelda's lullaby here instead of Saria's song, Darunia tells you his secret. This bomb doesn't destroy the urn. Why does this angry face give you rupees if the sad face gives nothing? Game forgets Tordongo's real weaknesses. So we have to destroy this boulder to uncover the switch and press it. But wasn't the boulder already pressing it? Don't sell Deku shields in an area where they burn up. Are you scamming us? Link survives this. Dodongo King's attacks are much easier to avoid than they look. This is one thing I love about this game. It's a mostly serious game that's not afraid to have a few comedic moments in it, and this definitely made me chuckle. Why did this Goron put up a sign challenging us to stop his wild rolling if he didn't want us to stop him? Why would Nintendo make Great Fairies this creepy in a Nintendo game? Their laughs are scary too. Well, it could be worse. At least this isn't their Breath of the Wild design. This shot looks disturbing. Thanks, but there are faster ways to heal than traveling great distances. No offense. Capora Gabor of flying you to Kakariko proves he's not quite as useless as people say, but he wastes time going in this loop. You must repeatedly spend rupees before this woman finally shows you the prize you want. I guess cuckoos are reasonable obstacles, but why are they here? Other than for animal abuse. The happy mask salesman expects a child to sell his products correctly. If you don't repay him for the masks, he gets frustrated. Now, I'd probably be frustrated too, but that's why this awful-tempered guy is false advertising himself when he has the title of Happy Mask Salesman. I sent Capora Gabor earlier, but here, even if you leave and come back, he still forces you to sit through the same dialogue. Thank goodness he doesn't say his stupid catchphrase this time though. Now the cameraman thinks he's the Crash Bandicoot cameraman. This bottle shouldn't sink, it should float on the water since it's not holding much. Why doesn't Ruto want her father to know she's inside Jabu Jabu, other than so she can be an even worse ripoff of Ariel? It would not be a debate, I could memorize more than 8 if I only had a brain. Man, I hope I never have to subdue you guys to my singing again. So this Gerudo got stuck here. She'll definitely starve to death. How was anyone supposed to find this ladder behind this waterfall? 32 seconds of moving aside. What was Nintendo thinking? Poor Jabu Jabu is stuck in this one spot forever. The fact that no one ever uses this music with the unsure Squidward face meme. Bubbles don't bounce, they pop. How did this cow get inside the walls of Jabu Jabu's body? That must cause Jabu Jabu severe pain. Maybe that's what Ganondorf did to turn him evil. Animal abuse. Is Ruto the only female Zora here? Are she and Lulu the only living females? Are they endangered? Pointing at your own problems doesn't make them go away. You bring up that Ruto wrote the letter and suddenly doesn't want rescuing? Some say we should assume Ruto didn't write it. If so, the game does nothing to tell us that. I hate Ruto. She doesn't care that her father's worried about her and isn't even saying thanks for trying to help. You want us to carry you? What are we supposed to like about this brat? This cow isn't drowning. Ruto's impatience just made me hate her even more. These swallowed enemies are not digested. Ruto doesn't even thank us for helping her get her belongings. Big Octo keeps turning, making him somewhat of a pain. Throwing the boomerang through Jabu Jabu's flesh would definitely injure him. Baronade's death is just gruesome. Shut up, Ruto, I was trying my best. When Ruto finally thanks us, she forces us to marry her if we want what we need to save the world. Why would I ever want to marry this jerk? If Hyrule Warriors didn't come out 16 or 3 years later, no one would ever convince me that she'd be a great waifu. Why, you stupid disgrace to Zoras! This greedy jerk keeps raising the magic bean prices. There's no way Zelda threw the Ocarina that distance. it would have smashed on the ground. Now we got the Ocarina of Time, and we're getting rid of the Fairy Ocarina, which was Saria's parting gift. This would be better if Saria gave us something different, and that we got the Ocarina of Time with Zelda's Lullaby, since there's no in-game difference. These Skull Kids dance weirdly. These cheapskates give 1 rupee for winning their first challenge. This happy Hyrule Castle Town theme doesn't fit with the scarred dying. The Hylian shield can reflect objects like the Dooku shield can. Well, not yet. After hearing the Master Sword theme multiple times in this game, the Link to the Past version eventually sounds like a downgraded remix even though it existed first. So wait, once the Door of Time's opened, it stays open? Why would they leave the door guarding Hyrule's most powerful artifact open after the sacred hero already enters it? That's terrible planning. Link looks more awesome grown up, but who changed his clothes while he was asleep for 7 years? On second thought, I probably don't want to know. This song sounds like an unused Star Fox 64 song. Sheik's a good character, but apparently worthy of being in Smash Bros, even though it's an awfully random choice. Geez, I wonder who that girl I know from the forest is. Look, I really love this game, but it's not really all that special anymore since it feels more like your everyday adventure game. I can't fault the game for this, it's more so the fault of all these other games trying to cash in on this game's success. Even by Zelda standards, pretty much everything special about it was done in later entries. 3D Zelda was done in, well, every 3D Zelda. We would later travel through time in Oracle of Ages. Fighting Epona was done in Majora's Mask, Twilight Princess, and Breath of the Wild. Man, look what Ganondorf's done to Hyrule. He's thrown everything into chaos. I better take off 5 sins. However, we should be thankful that anything's still here. The moon should have been possessing crushed Termina by now, and since that's a parallel universe to Hyrule, I'd assume if Termina goes, Hyrule goes too. I guess I'd understand having a picture of Ganondorf, because Ingo works for him now, but why have this thing blocking it? If Ingo beats you, you'll have to keep grinding up on rupees to rematch him. Wasn't refusing his end of the bargain and not giving us 50 rupees enough? I can see why losing the horse you promised to Ganondorf would be a letdown, but that's why you should look before you wager. Ingo closes these gates without touching them. Convenient these fences are here. For some reason, it takes 5 hours to get a faster travel option. Funny Easter egg, but how did the deliverers heave a cow into Link's house after Link beat Melon's challenge? Ganondorf destroyed Hyrule Castle Town, but forgot Kakariko Village. Dampé lets us violate his grave. Dampé's a nice guy, which is why he's leaving these deadly flames behind. What's the point of having to beat this twice? I like this song, but the opening deliberately rips off Yoshi's Island's castle theme. Guru wants to hurt some Ocarina kid, so let's pull out a Ocarina. Why would he ever teach us the song that ruined his windmill? Also, this strange song was the same song you played, so you should know it. These moblins sound more like weird gophers than dogs. This section is disguised as a stealth mission, even though these moblins are killable. Sheik's technically wrong here. Memories of younger days can change. I wanted to return to my childhood, and sometimes still do, but eventually I remembered I was an insufferable moron back then. I know this is probably the point, but the second half's dungeons don't look as cool as the first half. As such, the second half doesn't feel all that magical. Adult Link makes a weird sound when taking fall damage. Octoroks don't even surface, they just appear out of nowhere. Is this graffiti? Does that even exist in this universe? Stalfos are the most overused mini-boss in the game. They're to this game what Wizrobes are to Majora's Mask. Link looks laughable like this. Thanks, Navi, I can see these arrows for myself. How can Link pull these huge blocks when they have no handles? That makes infinitely negative sense. These ghosts are called Poes. Why? Why would they name a Zelda enemy after one of the Teletubbies? Why would Meg twirl like that to give away which one's real? Dead Man's Volley gets tiresome after being used so much in Zelda. One reason I think this boss is somewhat overrated. Still good. Get ready to see this cutscene a lot if you're doing boss rush. Seriously, would it kill them to let us skip it in boss rush? Oh sure, I never guessed that's a fake by how this game called him Phantom Ganon before the fight. Villain kills his minion for villain cliche. Link's too old for Saria now. I knew you'd come for me cliche. As if Kokoris didn't rip off Peter Pan enough, these guys wearing Peter Pan outfits never grow up. And with that knowledge combined with how they're basically orphans, that raises a question. Do they reproduce even as children? Also, while living forever sounds like a dream come true, if someone they know dies, they'll never see them again unless they die, which is hard to do without committing suicide. Yeah, the King of Hyrule, who we don't see in this game. So I guess we should assume he's a man obsessed with dinner and proclaims all true warriors strive for peace. Or maybe he's Waru. Andrew can't spell goosebumps. there's no space. So, awakening lazy people makes cuckoos happy? The name Odd Potion sounded cooler than Odd Poultice. How does Fado know who we're looking for? Why are you laughing about someone becoming a Stalfos? Who do you think you are, Louise Belcher? Also, they're sexualizing a child. You know there's a foot obsession? There's also one with sadistic girls. I'm not crazy for thinking there is one, right? Right? Yes, this medicine's made of forest mushrooms, but how do you think you'll turn it back into mushrooms? They're already turned into medicine. Children shouldn't be holding saws. That young punk guy did not look young. Minigoron sells you the breakable giant's knife for 200 rupees. This line sounds ridiculous coming from Sheik. Fire breathing block. I hate like. If you fall off this segment, prepare to climb all the way back up. This Goron walks on air. This weird dance move. Volvagia's an interesting whack-a-mole style of boss, but it feels somewhat out of place in Zelda. If Bigoron's eyes were irritated, how can he see this broken sword? This shopkeeper definitely looks better than he did in the original version, because at least now I can actually tell what the heck his gender is, but he still looks odd. If Zora's domain's frozen, how is this waterfall going? Bombs don't instantly kill freezers, which are made of ice. How did this chest appear inside solid ice? Sheik says the ice will melt after Morpha's slain, but it doesn't until you beat Ganon. No one will notice this exit. Link should be getting hypothermia right now. Now that the iron boots take less than a second to switch off, the water temple's no longer the worst part of the game. Thank you, Miyamoto! However, navigating it's still tedious, especially changing the water level. Why does everyone approve of interspecies romance but hate when Sonic does it? Discount Final Dimension Room from Kingdom Hearts 1's Final World. Dark Link's a bit annoying. This river part's fun. We were somehow supposed to know to shoot this picture in Master Quest. I hate this attack. Jeez, who would have ever guessed Rudo's the sage? Now, imagine if someone was exploring the drained lake right when this happened. I'm pretty sure I did all the work. Rudo did nothing. Even when she said she'd lead us, she pretty much disappeared until we beat Morpha. Does Sheik love scaring Link or what? Link is a jerk to the sun. This huge fish weighs 20 pounds. Instead of killing us, Bongo Bongo decides to beat us up. I hate Ritas and their ability to stun you. Sure, you can shake them off with the analog stick, but how are we supposed to know to do that? Great violation. In the Master Quest version, this song's written backwards. Since Link changes time with the Song of the Sun, that would inconvenience people. Someone would be getting ready for bed, then Link would play this song making the sun rise, and that person wouldn't get any sleep before having to go to work again. Shouldn't human skeletons be in a casket? Link is a jerk to Guru Guru. Did my 3DS's color scheme mess up? A windmill going crazy drains an entire well this fast. Also, this creates a time loop. We played this song, which led to him getting mad and eventually teaching us the song, which we went back in time to bother him with, and now my brain hurts. For some bizarre reason, these pictures remind me of Mr. Luggs from Luigi's Mansion. Is it just me? Dead Hand caused several child traumas. Nice design with the skulls, but where are their bodies? I hate wall masters. Cheating. Instead of an original mini-boss, they just reused the mini-boss from the bottom of the well. The hover boots control really awkward. These blades don't decapitate us. These spikes aren't creating holes in this floor. These bombs don't blow up the cracked statue's base, they only knock it over. And there's our boss of the Scary Shadow Temple. A bongo drummer who treats his right hand like chopped liver. Okay, Impa, I look back at that cutscene and you didn't see us. You were facing forward the whole time. Because of stupid copyright, the frogs no longer say singing in the rain. That was cute. The Goatman thinks frog eyeballs taste good. Character says, why didn't you just say so when you've been trying to this whole time, cliche. Also, genius says stupid things, cliche. Now there's 2 timed missions in a row, and if you lose, you have to go back to Zora's domain, bring the frog to the lakeside laboratory, and try again. The camera couldn't take the epicness of putting in eye drops? That's stupid. 76 seconds of repeatedly playing the Sun Song waiting for the Bigoron sword. We had to wait 17 years to know how this female race gives birth in Breath of the Wild. The game that will probably be the new formula and ruin the franchise by ruining the gameplay and sense of progression. They copy-paste dialogue for each carpenter. Wasn't fighting the same mini-boss 4 times enough? If a Gerudo catches you, instead of running away, Link just surrenders. Are you blind? Link's not a kid. They don't hear Link going over them. Gyro says, these women are scary, inspiring Alex and Josh to make a horribly sexist joke in one of their old collabs. Because we're strong, the Gerudos realize men are not weaklings. But they're still hiring their leader's biggest enemy. I think we found a glitch. Link doesn't get sand in his clothes from the sandstorm. This jerk doesn't tell you what he's selling until you buy it. I know everyone loves this song, but for some reason I just don't. This place doesn't change in 7 years. These chests shouldn't be open. They weren't open until the future. We're supposed to answer Nabaru's question by saying we're here for nothing. What's that supposed to say? That saying anything else would be selfish? That's not selfish. That's trying to save the world. A race of women takes orders from a man? That's sexist. Interpret this line however you want. Link can unlock these super high locks. What's that stupid word this Iron Knuckle just shouted? Kotaki and Kam kidnap Burrow at this exact moment so we don't have to give her the silver gauntlets. Treasure chest. In Master Quest, this hard-to-reach chest contains 1 heart. We've beaten several Iron Knuckles, so what makes Twin Rova think this is any different? Apparently, brainwashing Burrow also gave her a male voice. Little, she looks like a grown-up. Is everyone oblivious to age in Hyrule? These stupid hacks sometimes go right next to each other so you can deflect their magic at each other. Why do they look much younger than they actually are when combined? Why are they going to heaven? They're evil. This game literally sinned itself. They're twins when they're 20 years apart. They say they'll return to haunt us, but they never do for the rest of the adult timeline. Their only other appearances are in the Oracle games from the Downfall timeline, and Majora's Mask from the Child timeline, when they're not even villains. Nabaru's the Sage? I never guessed by how we saw her multiple times in this dungeon. That's self-racist. Man, Link gets all the girls. If someone evil enters, the realm becomes evil. If someone whose heart is absolutely pure enters, it becomes a paradise. What if a good person whose heart isn't entirely pure enters? Does Hyrule just stay the same? Ganondorf holds the Triforce of Power, and Link holds the Triforce of Courage. Jeez, I wonder who has the Triforce of Wisdom. This is an awesome plot twist that Sheik was actually Zelda, but some twit decided that Melee should spoil this awesome moment, so most people saw it coming. Curse you, Melee! I'll never forgive you for making me sin this awesome moment. I guess I should give credit for going this long without kidnapping Zelda, but the sin is that Zelda was found 2 minutes after revealing herself. This is the second game I've sinned in a row to misunderstand betrayal. How is Zelda betraying Ganondorf if she was never with him? Is there something you're not telling us, Zelda? We can see up Zelda's dress. Our reward for every Skulltula token is 200 rupees. Now, you can leave and come back for an infinite amount, but it doesn't do much for completionists. Freezers can survive the warm Gerudo training grounds. Link hookshots through this fire completely unscathed. When you toggle the lens of truth on and off like this, it sounds like something from Star Wars. Why would spiders build webs over water? Water kills them. And your prize for beating Gerudo training grounds is ice arrows, which you'll never use. The golden gauntlets, which are only used in one area in the whole game. This giant stone thing lands in lava without a splash. Darunia saying, "Hurry up, brother," is the only one of these barrier dispel quotes that brings back memories from earlier. Maybe having barrier power sources in reachable places wasn't Ganondorf's best idea. This is definitely an awesome build-up to the final boss. However, the build-up seems to go on forever. A bottle can deflect Ganondorf's shots. Why? Climbing can take a while in this game, but it's especially annoying here. Ganondorf destroys most of his throne room, but repairs the blocks he destroyed during the fight. This part was brought to you by Metroid, but who am I kidding? This segment rocks! If you lose the final fight, you have to do this part again. Zelda has the uncanny ability to float. Pointless readout that serves no purpose other than to waste a few seconds. This room's awfully identical to the entrance, but judging by the bridge we just crossed, this room's completely different. If the tower chooses to collapse this way, we could have just stayed at the top and we'd be alright. I'm pretty sure that entire castle would leave much more rubble than that. I'm not gonna lie, this is an awesome setting for a final boss. Lazily coming up with an excuse to lose the Master Sword. Now she says she'll be much more help this time, yet she can't find Ganon's glowing weak point. Nice touch with how the Zelda gasps whenever you get hit though. Ganon lies unconscious long enough for you to get your sword and come back. So let's take the time to talk about different timelines. If Link wins, Ganondorf is sealed away, but eventually escapes, leading to the Hylian gods being forced to flood Hyrule, killing off thousands of innocent people. But if Link loses, a future incarnation of Link is someday able to use the Triforce's power to undo all the damage Ganondorf did to Hyrule. In other words, things end up better if Link loses than if he wins. What are you trying to tell us, Nintendo? See, Peach? This is how you have a damsel in distress done right. Actually letting her do something useful aside from just writing letters and throwing mushrooms. I can't take Ganondorf's face seriously. So basically, Zelda has you return to your own time, where Link informs the guards of Ganondorf's actions. But first off, the game literally does nothing to tell us that. Second off, how will Link convince the guards who kept throwing him out that the guy they trust will destroy Hyrule? And lastly, that completely destroys the entire purpose of our journey if we could have just done this the whole time. Okay, game, you've earned your 5-cent subtraction. Navi leaves Link for literally no explained reason. And how does she expect to leave through this closed window? This part of the song must have been left over from Star Fox 64's credits theme. The game gives us 2.5 minutes of credits after already showing us end credits.